Hey YouTube, how's it going? It's Sky. I have done one of these videos before, and it was for the Spring Bogo. So I'm going to do it again, and I will recap what this video basically is. And I know I'm a day late because the Bogo started yesterday, but here we are anyways. So this is the Memorial Day Bogo sale, which is buy one, get one tub free, and I'm going to go through every flavor in the list, and I will tell you if I would recommend it if you're, say, a first-time Gfuel buyer and you've been waiting for a Bogo sale and that's when you try new flavors. I will let you know personally if I like it and I was just buying it. And keep in mind, this is my opinion. You don't have to listen to my opinion. I'm just letting you know what flavors I like over others. So that's how we're gonna do it. So first flavor on the list is Bahama Mama. And I'm gonna grab the tubs so you know that I've had these flavors before. But Bahama Mama, I do really like this. I'm pretty sure that this is my original tub of Bahama Mama. And I do like it even though I haven't finished it. It's been out for maybe 2 years or something like that. I do like it. It is like a creamy, orangey, pineapple-y drink, and it is very good. It's also Roman Atwood's flavor, if you know who he is. And it could be in my top 10, but it is definitely a good flavor. And if you are a new Gfuel drinker, I wouldn't suggest getting this. But if you haven't had it before and you're looking to get some new flavors in the Bogo, I would definitely suggest this. Next up is Battle Juice, which is inspired by Faze, but you probably knew that. This is basically just a reskin of just straight up pineapple, and that is why I do not like this flavor that much, and I've had it like maybe twice. I would be interested in mixing it with other things if you guys have any ideas, but as a first time Gfuel drinker, I don't suggest this unless you have a weird obsession with pineapple or you just really want to try it, because my roommate likes pineapple. She doesn't like this, but also she doesn't really like Gfuel with water usually. But as a first time Gfuel drinker, or if you want to just pick it up, obviously this is my opinion, but as a first time drinker, if that's why you're here, I don't suggest this. Next up is Black on Blackberry. So this is my original tub, and I will not be buying any more probably, but because as you can see, this is the Dr. Disrespect tub, and obviously he's no longer with Gfuel. But also as a first time Gfuel drinker, I wouldn't suggest this. It is kind of a lot different than other flavors. Boysenberry is kind of similar just because it also has blackberry in it, but this is straight up blackberry. And I mean, if you like blackberry, yeah. The thing that I don't like about this is that it turns my mouth completely black, which is expected, but just most of the Gfuel flavors are not like best picks for a first flavor. So in that regard, I wouldn't suggest this as a first-time drinker, but I would suggest it as if it's a new flavor that you've been thinking about picking up. Okay, so next up is Blue Ice, and Blue Ice, if you guys didn't know, is one of the very original Gfuel flavors, and I think it might be the only one that is still available. So in that regard, as a starter flavor, not at the top of the list for starter flavors for new drinkers, but this is up there somewhere because it is just your basic blue drink for the most part. But it's unlike any like blue Gatorade or anything like that in my opinion. But as a first time drinker, this is one of the flavors I would suggest. But if you haven't had this by now, you should go ahead and just get it. Okay, so next up on the list is Boysenberry, which is a newer flavor, and this is possibly the first time it's been available during the Bogo. And it is inspired by Logic, if you didn't know. So lots of people were hyped about this flavor, and it is a good flavor. I would definitely prefer this over Black on Blackberry because it's I can't remember what a Boysenberry is. I think it's a cross between a blackberry and a raspberry. European raspberry, European blackberry, and American dewberry, and loganberry. So that's what a Boysenberry is if you were interested. And I do think this is a good flavor. It is kind of strong and not like most Gfuel flavors because it's the Blackberry that gets me. But I definitely would suggest this over Black on Blackberry. And I could possibly suggest this somewhere on the list of first-time G Fuel drinkers buying this. Okay, next up on the list is bubblegum. And I know if you've watched any other video of anybody else talking about bubblegum, they probably say that it's really good, it's great, but I'm here to tell you, if you haven't had this before, do not buy a full tub of it. Because me personally, I don't like bubblegum flavored things, especially in a drink, because I like to chew bubblegum that tastes like bubblegum. I like to chew it and blow bubbles. I don't want to drink it. That is why I do not like this. It's also not even that great in milk, but as a first-time drinker, I would say stay away from this one. I would say stay away from most of the candy flavors, but don't let anybody get you wrong about this. If you have a starter kit with this in it, that's okay. I just wouldn't buy a full tub of this right away, my opinion. Okay, next up is Classified, which is the first, I think, of the two Bogo exclusives, and I know this isn't the more hyped up Bogo exclusive, but if you haven't had this before, and I don't know if they're ever planning on restocking it in the future to buy, because I didn't know that it was sold out and not being sold anymore. But if you haven't had it and you've been drinking G Fuel a while, I would say go ahead and get it. I personally, my opinion, my taste buds, I don't like this flavor. It is, well, we don't know what it is, but lots of people say like watermelon mixed with some type of bubblegum or cotton candy or something close to that. Definitely people think that there's watermelon in here, but Classified means that we don't know what it is, or probably might not ever know what it is, but that might not be the case. But I would say if you haven't had the chance to ever try it, then you should get it. Okay, so Faze X. Faze X is obviously inspired by Faze, but it is the first first frost flavor that they've ever done. And I think it's more like a cherry frost. So if you've ever had Gatorades like glacial cherry or something like that, you know, the white cherry flavor that they have, that is the closest thing to this flavor that I can say. So if you like that, this is definitely a flavor that you will probably vibe with. I do like that flavor, but for some reason, sometimes I don't feel like drinking this. I'm weird, I know, but as a first-time drinker, maybe don't try this, but first try that Gatorade I just said before buying this. See if you like that, because if you don't like cherry, you might not like this. Okay, so unpopular opinion is my middle name, but Fasberry is technically a fan favorite, although I don't see too many people talking about it anymore. I do not like Fasberry. I actually kind of hate it. I know lots of people like it, but it has strawberries, pomegranates, blueberries on the label. But I don't know if it's the fruit mixture or if it's the pomegranates or even the strawberries that makes me just not like it. It is way too strong of a flavor for me. So just because it's not my favorite flavor doesn't mean you shouldn't get it. But as a first-time drinker, unless you've been fantasizing about buying G Fuel for your whole life, I just wouldn't buy this as my first-time flavor. Next up is French Vanilla Iced Coffee, and I'm just gonna say I do not like this, and I would stay away from it if it's your first time drinking G Fuel. So in my more recent top 5 that I did last week, I put guava in at my number 5, and I do think that guava is really good. However, if you like more basic flavors, you might not like this. I don't see people talking about this anymore, but I think as a standalone fruit flavor, this is one of my favorites. And if you've never tried it before, I would suggest just giving it a shot. Because if you don't really if you're not over the moon about it, you can try and mix it with other fruit flavors. That's another idea that you can do if you don't like a flavor. But I would recommend this if you've never had it. But if it's your first time, probably not. Next up is Hype Sauce. And I would 1000% recommend this as a first-time flavor. I would say maybe Shiny Splash more than Hype Sauce, but yeah, Shiny Splash is in stock too, so we'll get to that one. But this is a raspberry lemonade, and the lemonade flavors that they've done for the most part are awesome. And lemonade, you know, everybody should basically know what lemonade tastes like. And raspberry lemonade, it's just, if you never had G Fuel, go ahead and just pick this up right now. So moon pie is in the same boat for me as French vanilla. Just, I would stay away from this if you're a first time drinker. But if you, for some reason, love your G Fuel and milk and you haven't had moon pie or French vanilla, maybe go ahead if you got the money, but if you don't, nah. Okay, next up is the other Bogo exclusive that everybody is freaking out about, and it's mystery flavor. So when it comes to mystery flavor, I'm guessing there's a lot of people who are buying it up right now. It's still in stock, but a lot of the people that are probably buying it up right now never had it before, and they're curious and they're scared because it'll probably go away. And this was just unvaulted yesterday, so that's probably why. But I have had it before. My video of me trying it by itself for the first time has gotten like over 1,000 views in a day, which is a lot for me. So that's cool, but you know. And I would just say, if you're scared about it going away, because it might be vaulted again, I would go ahead and maybe grab a tub or two just if you're interested. And it's a flavor that you can mix with other stuff, definitely, because they've confirmed it a while ago that it's, is it lychee or lychee? Whichever way you pronounce it, but that is basically what this is. And I've never had that taste before, but it's very easy to know when you're tasting it, if you know what I mean. But I feel like I was gonna say something, but I forget. But if you just want to grab it because it's back, maybe just go and do it. But as a flavor by itself, it's not that great. Oh yeah, I was gonna do a little tangent real quick. I only wanted them to bring this back if they were rebranding it as lychee, and then put out a new mystery flavor. Because I think they should do mystery flavors every so often, and if people really, really like it, make it a new flavor. Instead of putting out flavors that are like gross to the majority of the population. That's just my thought. I know they probably won't do it, but that's where I am. Okay, next up is Pewdiepie, which is lingonberry or cranberry. And this flavor for me personally is very, very strong. It is not one of my favorites, but it is decently good. But as a first-time drinker, I don't recommend it. But if you have been wanting to try it for a while, it is kind of good. But for me, it's very, very strong. It's one of those singular fruit flavors that are just way over the top strong. I think the new formula is pretty much, it's the same as this one. So I have 2 tubs of this, so that's fun. Actually, no, I don't like to recommend the strong flavors for me personally to new drinkers. I like to do the basics, and we haven't really gotten to the basic flavors yet. Okay, next up is Pink Drip, and I think this is the first time it's been available during the Bogo. This is a candy flavor, and it's like strawberry starburst or something. I can't remember which candy it was like that. They say pink chewy candy, but it tastes like something. As a flavor in water, this for me isn't the best. It is kind of good in milk, but it just depends on your milk and your taste preference. But for me, this is near the top of the list of candy flavors, but it is not my personal favorite. If you are actually still interested in this, you can go and watch somebody else's review. You just probably won't hear what you want to hear from me. Next up is Raging Gummy Fish, which is Faze Berry flavor. And I'm glad that this has been around for a long time, but I honestly don't drink it that much, but I do think that this is top tier candy flavors. But if you don't like Swedish Fish, you might not like this. But I do think that this is one of my favorite candy flavors. If you watched my review that I posted the other day of Sour Demonade, that flavor as a whole is my new favorite candy flavor. But yeah, this, I don't know if I put this over Pink Drip, but they're pretty close. But I would probably definitely recommend this as a first time flavor if you're interested in it, because it is a really cool looking tub. Even though this is not a reskin. Have they done a reskin? I don't know. It's good though. Okay, my roommate had this last night, and this was next on the list, so it was still in the kitchen. But rainbow sherbet is the next flavor, and she really likes this flavor in milk. Um, it is okay in water, but this is definitely a very good milk flavor if you're into Gfuel milk. This was actually the very first Gfuel flavor that I tried, and it technically got me hooked. It's not one of my favorites, but it definitely got me hooked because I went from this and then I had Faze Berry and I didn't like Faze Berry, so I was kind of sad. But definitely, well, it's the best dessert flavor in my opinion. Okay, next up is Scorpion Sting, and I'm sad that they're sold out of Ice Shatter, which is the other Mortal Kombat flavor, because I need some more of that. Excuse me. But if you don't know, it's spicy mango. So if you can't do spicy, stay away from this. And also, this only ships in the US, so if you're out of the US, you can't purchase this. But if you're in the US and you like spicy, and you had like spicy demonade and you like that for some reason, definitely go ahead and give this one a try. I like this better than spicy demonade for sure, and because I like mango flavors, but I don't really drink this that often. But first time drinker, do not recommend this at all. Okay, next up is another one that I highly recommend as a first time drinker, which is Shiny Splash, which is blueberry lemonade. And like I said, all their lemonades are pretty dang good. And this is, you know, definitely one of them. This overall, I would drink this over Hype Sauce, but if you're interested in both of these, I would go ahead and just pick up Shiny Splash and Hype Sauce right off the bat if you've never had either of them. It's just really good, and I cannot recommend it enough. And next up is Snow Cone, and this is another one of those this is another one of those flavors that I wouldn't recommend as a first time drinker, and here's why. It is refreshing to me every once in a while, but it gets kind of stale real quick because it's not too flavorful in my opinion. Because it's definitely a dessert flavor, and I've had it in milk before. I made a video on it if you're interested, but it's just, it's you know, everybody's got their own taste preferences, but for me, this is refreshing every once in a while, with a lot of ice, obviously, but as a first-time drinker, maybe stay away from it. But it is on the verge of candy and dessert, but just as a first-time drinker, I wouldn't recommend it. But if you've never had it before and you've had Gfuel for a while, a lot of tubs, and you haven't had this, maybe now's the time. Next up is Sonic's Peach Rings, which once again only ships to US, but also it ships to Canada, so just US and Canada. But I recommend this flavor a lot because I really do like this flavor. So I really like peaches, and then it's got the candy aspect, so it's actually very good water too. It depends, like when we get to Wampa Fruit, which is mango and apple, which I know isn't peach or candy, sometimes I would see myself grabbing this a lot more than that. But if you've never had this before and you're a first time drinker, I might even recommend it as well. If you live in the US and Canada, of course. But definitely, yeah, I would suggest this no matter what. Okay, next up is Sour Blue Chug Rug. Apart from Sour Demonade, which just came out, I would say that this is probably my favorite sour flavor. I'm between this and Sour Cherry, but I think that I prefer this more than Sour Cherry. Because there was a day the other day that I had this and Sour Cherry the same day, and I think I preferred this. But also, Sour Cherry's not in stock right now. So if you can do sour, like just in general, and you haven't had Sour Blue Chug Rug, you're missing out because this is terrific. Rug is a great dude, and just, I highly recommend this flavor if you can do sour. I might even recommend it as a first time flavor too. Okay, next up is Sour Faze Berry, and like I said, I do not like Faze Berry, but if I had to pick between Faze Berry and Sour Faze Berry, I'd pick this one because it gives that extra tartness and just, but I don't drink this very often. If you've been interested and you like, you know, pomegranates, strawberries, and blueberries in a mixture together, go ahead and watch somebody else's review that's not mine because you might get better results. but as a first-time drinker, I do not recommend this. Okay, next up is Star Fruit, and as a first-time drinker, I wouldn't recommend it because it is quite different, and it's just quite different. But if you've never had it and you've been scared, it is, you know, one of the standalone fruit flavors, and it's Butter's flavor, and Butter's is amazing. And this flavor is very good. I don't drink it as often as I did when I got it, but I would say if you've never had it, you do enjoy the standalone fruit flavors, which they actually don't really have very many now. I would say go ahead and grab this right now. It's been around a while, like a year, and I recommend it, but maybe not as a first time drinker, but if you've never had it, definitely grab it. Next up is Strawberry Banana, and this, I feel, as well as the next one on the list, are exclusively, in my opinion, milk flavors, because this in water is gross. If you like it in water, explain to me. But unless you really like drinking your milk or your G Fuel in milk, I wouldn't recommend it as a first-time drinker. But that's just me. My roommate likes this flavor, but I don't, and I wouldn't recommend it either way. I'm kind of shocked that it's still like a flavor. Next up is Strawberry Shortcake. Like I said with the last one, this for me would be exclusively a milk flavor, but I don't really like strawberries, so neither of these flavors are for me. My roommate likes them. That's why I have them, so she can have them, she can finish them. This has been around since I started drinking G Fuel. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't really see many people talking about it, but it is like top tier for people who really like their dessert flavors in milk, in my opinion. But in water, it's just not good. So as a first-time drinker, stay away from it. If you've never had it before, maybe if you like your milk and G Fuel, your G Fuel and milk, God, I'd stay away from this one. Okay, next up is Tropical Rain, which up until Ice Shatter came out, this was my favorite G Fuel flavor. It's still up there. The new formula does taste a bit lighter than this one, but I wouldn't totally recommend this as a first time G Fuel if you've never had it before. But if you would like to try it because it's one of my favorite flavors, I would definitely say you should pick it up. But it is an unpopular opinion that I like this flavor. There's lots of people who don't like this flavor, and I'm not sure why. But it does have a lot of different fruits in it, as you can see. But yeah, I would recommend it, but maybe not as a first-time drinker. Okay, second to last is Watermelon. And this is my old tub, but still the same thing. Flavor just tastes different, but whatever. This is quite possibly, I know I put guava in my top 5, but this potentially could be my top standalone fruit flavor. It mixes very well with other flavors if you're interested in that, but as a standalone fruit flavor, this is the most refreshing. 1000%. I would recommend it even if you've never had it. I get questions a lot if I recommend watermelon or if they should grab watermelon, and the answer is yes, you should go ahead and try it, because it is, even if you don't like it as a standalone fruit flavor, you'll definitely be able to find a mix that it tastes amazing with. Okay, and last on the list is Wampa Fruit, or Wampa Fruit. I still don't know which one it is because I am stupid. But this is the flavor they did with Crash Bandicoot, and this is one of Shock's favorite flavors, if not still his top favorite flavor. So with that in mind, definitely grab it anyways. It is mango and apple, and it is very good. It's very refreshing. It is a bit strong in my opinion, but since it's in stock and it is a fan favorite, I think for the most part, I would definitely go ahead and just grab this now. As a first-time drinker, it's good. If you've never had it, where you been? But I would definitely say this is worth picking up. Alright guys, so keep in mind that these are my opinions on the flavors, and I have had all of them because I literally had a tub for every flavor on this list, and I've definitely, for the most part, made videos on all of them. So I've had them before. Everybody has different opinions, everybody's taste buds like different things, so you can watch other videos on specific flavors if you're still not sure. But yeah, I wanted to make another one of these videos because I had quite a few people watch the other one I did, and I think Shock posted one yesterday, but I wanted to put one on my channel anyways, so thank you guys so much for watching this. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and if you love Gfuel, and subscribe for more Gfuel related videos, and follow all my links in the description because I'm not getting enough love and I'm sad. Just because not very many people pay attention to me, and it makes me sad just because I'm lonely and sad. But yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.